welcome to the Anything Goes podcast. I am your host, Kombat AllStar, and man, there has not been a lot of news lately. The well has been dry, folks. It's been kind of hard coming up with topics and things to talk to you guys about. But I thought I'd do something fun today since, there hasn't been a lot of news coming out lately. And recently I watched a special on Netflix called Ghost Heads. And everybody should watch it. I mean, it's kind of like Back in Time, but Back in Time was a much, much better, I think, documentary. And if you guys don't know, Back in Time is basically a documentary about the lifestyle of people who really, really enjoy Back to the Future. So they kind of live their lives through the movie. They do certain things like they go to they have an old bar from like back in the day, and then they go, not a bar, I'm sorry, but like an old, what was that place? The Enchantment Under the Sea. The parents went to. They kind of recreate that, and they go dancing there and stuff like that. So it's a really, really good documentary. It's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of good that they do. They go and visit people and help raise money for Parkinson's and stuff like that. So Back in Time is really, really great. It's just a behind the scenes look at the extreme fandom, and Ghost Heads is the same thing. It's apparently everybody has their own chapter in Ghost Heads. And they go out and they visit sick children and stuff like that. So I implore you, go ahead and check it out. It's really good stuff. But back to my point, which was there was a guy on Ghost Heads that said, I think his title was I can't remember exactly what his title was. I think it was more along the lines of like video movie historian or something like that. But one of the things that he said that grabbed my ear was, he said 1984 was the most influential time for movies in American history. So I was like, that's interesting. So, he went on to say, basically these movies have influenced people in America more than any of the movies have ever. So I went to go take a look and see what he was talking about. I was like, all right, so if these movies are very influential, like what movies is he talking about? So I did a little quick search online, and I found all the lists of every movie that came out in 1984. And I'm going to kind of read some of them to you and kind of give my thoughts on them. But man, there were a lot of movies. I don't know for sure. I'm not a movie historian, of course. But lately, I feel like these days, there's maybe 20 movies that release a year, right? Because, you have one or two that release in the beginning of the year and the end of the year. Christmas is becoming more popular, Christmas and Thanksgiving. But most of the movies are out in the summertime. And I feel like it's around 20 to 15 movies that release in the summertime. And then you got your stragglers here and there around Thanksgiving or Christmas. But there's not, total maybe 25 movies. So they don't release them like they used to, But there are a lot of movies that I found that came out in 1985. It's pretty insane. Literally hundreds, not 100, like hundreds of movies that came out in 1985. And I'm kind of curious if that's how it was back in the day. They weren't pigeonholed into, oh, we have to make a superhero movie because that's what sells. They were creating brand new stuff. And it was amazing stuff. Let me just read you kind of a list of 1984 where you kind of get where you can pick up what I'm putting down. You know what I'm saying? So, Beverly Hills Cop. The first Beverly Hills Cop came out in 1984, and we all know that movie. With Eddie Murphy and just I don't want to say his breakout film, but one of it that was when he was like on top, coming out with like Coming to America. And, just all the stuff that he used to come out with. So that movie, definitely, Beverly Hills Cop, is one of those movies that came out. Breakin', the very first Breakin', and Breakin' Electric Boogaloo. Wow, so they had two movies in 1 year. That's pretty crazy. That movie was pretty influential. I love that movie. It was great. I was a kid. Of course, I was a kid when it came out. But, when I actually saw the movie, I thought it was just amazing. It was just awesome. So far, so good. This is looking good. Cannonball Run 2, never saw that movie. Children of the Corn, the original Children of the Corn first came out in 1985. So that's something. All right, let's see. What else do we got on this list? Firestarter. That was Drew Barrymore's breakout film. So that movie was pretty scary and pretty cool. I actually liked the movie. I actually saw it, again for the first time, think about a year ago, and it's awesome. It's really well written. You know, it's a good. I mean, of course, it's a Stephen King movie, so it's gonna be good. So yeah, that was pretty good too. Footloose, never really into that movie, but it has a cult fan following. Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Wow, so the last Friday the 13th came out in 1984. Interesting. Ghostbusters, of course. I told you guys I saw that on Ghost Head, so of course came out in 1984. Let's see, Heartbreakers, Iceman, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Another Spielberg movie. Really, really good. So, sequel to Raiders of the Lost Ark, which was the first Indiana Jones movie. Let's see what we got here. The Karate Kid. Dude, The Karate Kid is legit. Look, The Karate Kid is awesome. Man, that came out in 1984. That's good stuff, man. Good stuff. The Last Starfighter, also a really good movie. Don't remember much of it because I saw it back in the day and I never rewatched it again as an adult. So, yeah. The Muppets Take Manhattan. That movie was pretty awesome. I still remember. I only saw it when I was a kid back in the day, but I still remember how epic that was. Seeing Animal in Manhattan, walking down the street, and them in the little. I think it was at like a pub or a not a pub. It's Muppets, of course. But I think it was like a tea place or something, and he was playing the drums. I don't know. But anyway, that was a great movie. The Never Ending Story. Holy cow! The Never Ending Story came out in 1984. That was awesome. That movie rocked my socks, man. That was my childhood. I loved that movie. So, Never Ending Story, oh man, I was so afraid of the nothing, which was nothing, basically, like this big black nothing that would just tear through things and absorb stuff. I guess it was kind of like the Blob, but without being the Blob, maybe. I don't know. But Never Ending Story was awesome. A Trail, The Purple Buffalo, awesome story. Let's see what else we got here. A Nightmare on Elm Street. All right. You know, Nightmare on Elm Street came out. Robert Englund basically killed that role as Freddy. So, I mean, that's an iconic thing right there. So, man, this list is awesome. Let's see what we got here. The First Police Academy. That's a great movie, too. I feel like everything great came out in 1984. Holy cow. Of course, I wasn't born in 1984, so not everything great came out in 1984. But, man, that's pretty cool. Purple Rain, another good one. You know, rest in peace, Prince. Purple Rain was pretty good. Never was really a big fan of Purple Rain, but I can't deny how awesome that movie was. Roadhouse 66, another really good movie. Let's see, Rosebud, the Rosebud Beach Hotel. Not sure what that is. Secret Horror, don't know what that is. Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock. Also, really, really awesome movie. I don't remember too much of it, but again, I saw it when I was a child, really enjoyed it. Supergirl. Oh my gosh, dude. Supergirl was amazing. So that was, man, that's one of those movies that you think, think back on and you're like, man, did that movie really exist? And you're like, you're not so sure, but man, I guess it did exist. And it was an awesome movie. That movie still kind of sticks with me. So, you know what? I might want to actually buy that movie. Maybe I can find that on Vudu or something. I don't know. So, yeah, that was a great movie, you know. I implore you, if you haven't seen Supergirl, go watch it. It's a little bit of cheese, but I mean, so were the original Supermen, but still a good movie. All right, thumbing down the list here, The Terminator. I love The Terminator. I mean, there's enough said. You know, The Terminator is The Terminator, and it'll always be a great franchise. So, 1984. What about that? How about that? So, I mean, The Woman, The Wildlife, Up the Creek. I don't know many of these movies. But yeah, the ones that I did. So I just thumbed down the whole list in alphabetical order. And that was basically all the movies. Well, that wasn't basically. That was all the movies that came out. Sorry I didn't name all of them. I mean, there's tons here, but you can look it up for yourself. I'll leave the link below to the Wikipedia list of all these movies so you guys can check them out too. But man, that is a lot of movies, you know. There's a lot of movies that have come out. I mean, A Nightmare on Elm Street, Never Ending Story. I mean, shoot, Supergirl. Man, The Karate Kid, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. These are all really, really great movies. I mean, there's not a bad movie in the lot. And, you know, I will admit there are some movies that I have not seen, but, I mean, that doesn't make it a bad movie. It just makes it a movie that I have not seen. So, what do you guys think? What was your favorite movie of all time? I know the guy said the most influential year was 1984, And dude, there was a lot of movies that came out in 1984. And movies I didn't even think came out. I guess when you watch a movie, you don't think, oh, well, I wonder what year this came out in. But there was a lot of movies that came out in 1984, and that's pretty cool. So, what do you guys think of, what do you guys think of that list? Or the list that I read? Or, you know what, just go ahead and check out that link that I left in the description and tell me what you think about all the movies. There may be some movies on there that you haven't seen that, that I haven't seen that you've seen. You know what? I'll do this. I'll go ahead and list all the movies. That way we can have a better conversation about it. And I'll go from A to Z, all the movies. That way you can kind of know what came out in 1983 and you can kind of talk about it. And then let me know what your favorite movie is. So, let's go. First movie, 2010. The cast was Roy Schneider, Helen Mirren, John Lithgow, Bob, whatever the heck, and Dana LeClaire. So, looks like it was a sequel to 2001: A Space Odyssey. There was Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai. I don't know how to say that. The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai. Hopefully I said that right. And yeah, that was that. Against All Odds, All of Me, Alley Cat, Amadeus. That was a big deal. The Ambassador, American Dreamer, Angel, Bachelor Party, Bad Banners, Beach Street, Before Stonewall, Best Defense, Beverly Hills Cop, boom, Birdie, Blame It on Rio. It's a weird title for a movie. It's comedy. Blind Date, Blood Simple, suspense film, Body Double. It's weird. Body Rock, Bolero, The Brunstonians. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Had Christopher Reeve, Vanessa Redgrave, and Jessica Tandy. It was a drama based on a Henry James novel, so I don't know what that is. The Bounty, of course, Breaking 1 and 2, which were amazing. Ice-T was in that? Ice-T was in both films? Gotta watch that again. Broadway Dance Rose, The Brother from Another Planet, comedy with Joe Morton and Steve James. Sounds interesting. Chud, Cannonball Run 2, Children of the Corn. Movie is still creepy to this day. Choose Me, City Heat, Cloak and Dagger, The Company of Wolves, Conan the Destroyer. Oh, so it's a Conan the Barbarian sequel. I never liked those movies. I thought they were okay, but they didn't really have much story, and I was very bored watching them as a kid. I'll just say that. The Cotton Club, Country, Crackers, Crimes of Passion, Dreamscape, Dune, Electric Dreams, The Evil That Men Do. I think I've heard of that movie, The Evil That Men Do. Looks like it was an action. Charles Bronson and Jose Ferrer, whoever that is. There was Falling in Love, Fierce City, Finders Keepers, Firestarter, Firstborn, Flamingo Kid, Flashpoint, Footloose, Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter, Gallivants, Garbo Talks, Ghostbusters, Gimme an F. What the heck kind of movie was that? Comedy. Jennifer Cook, Beth Miller, and Stephen Sheldon. Okay. Girls Night Out, Grandview USA, Gremlins. Oh, how could I have forgotten about the Gremlins? Man, Gremlins was awesome. That movie was pretty amazing. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen Gremlins, you're missing out. You need to go and check out Gremlins and tell me what you think. That was another horror movie, a comedy horror, but it was still awesome. Let's see, Hard to Hold, Harry and Son, Heartbreakers, Hot Dog the Movie, The Hotel, New Hampshire, The Ice Pirates, Iceman, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, I don't even know how to say that. Inconceivable Differences, whatever that is, with Ryan O'Neal, Drew Barrymore, and Shelley Long. It's a comedy by Warner Brothers. Then there's the Jesse Owens story, Johnny Dangerously. Oh my gosh, dude! Me and my brother loved Johnny Dangerously. How could I have missed that on the list? That was an amazing movie about a guy who was a career criminal, and his little brother became a cop, and he was obsessed with hunting Johnny dangerously, and he didn't know that that was his brother, who's Johnny somebody else. He had a different last name, but oh my gosh, that movie was awesome. It had Michael Keaton in it, Griffin Dunn, Joe Capisco, Maureen Stapleton, Peter Boyle, and Marilu Henner. Don't know who Marilu is, but great movie. Go watch it, great movie. Also, there was Just the Way You Are, The Karate Kid, Kill Point, Lace, Lassiter? Yeah, I don't know what that is when I say that. The Last Starfighter, The Little Drummer Girl, The Lonely Guy, Love Letters, Love Streams, Making the Grade, Maria's Lovers, Mass Appeal, Meatballs Part 2. What the heck is Meatballs? Maybe I should go watch that. Mickey and Maude, Mike's Murder, Missing in Action. That sounds really, really familiar. Let's see. Moscow on the Hudson, Miss Stoffel, The Muppets Take Manhattan, of course. The Naked Force, National Lampoon's Joy of Sex. Whoa. The Natural, The Never-Ending Story, Night Patrol, Night of the Comets, A Nightmare on Elm Street, Ninja 3, The Domination. I never heard of that one. Almost thought it was American Ninja, which was an awesome movie. Woo! The American Ninja series is just great. I don't care who you are, you gotta go watch it. The movie's fantastic. No Small Affair, not for publication, Nothing Lasts Forever, Old Enough, Once Upon a Time in America. That almost sounds like Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Weird. Over the Brooklyn Bridge, Oxford Blues, Paris, Texas. Paris, Texas, that's kind of a... Okay, Passage to India, The Pearls of Gwendoline in the Land of Yik Yak. Wow, and that was an action movie with Tawny Kidlin and Brett Huff. Weird. The Philadelphia Experiment, Places in the Heart, Police Academy, The Pope of Greenwich Village, Protocol, Purple Hearts, Purple Rain, Racing with the Moon, The Razor's Edge, Reckless, Red Dawn, Repo Man, Revenge of the Nerds. Oh, Revenge of the Nerds was awesome, man. Lambda, and Omega Mu. How can I forget that? I'm glad I'm reading this list to you guys because I'm like remembering. I'm like looking at stuff that I missed when I first kind of did the list rundown really quick. But dude, go watch Revenge of the Nerds. That was an awesome movie too. Rhinestone, The River, Roadhouse 66, Romancing the Stone, The Rosebud Beach Hotel, Runaway, Savage Streets, Secret Horror, Sheena, Silent Night, Deadly Night, 16 Candles, which I've heard of, Slapstick of Another Kind, weird, it's a comedy, so I guess it makes sense, A Soldier Story, Songwriter, Splash, Star Trek 3, Search for Spock, Starman, Stop Making Sense, Stranger Than Paradise, Streets of Fire, Suburbia, Supergirl, Surf 2, Swing Shift, and the last one on the home stretch here, guys. Stay with me. Tank, Teachers, The Terminator, Tear in the Isles, Thief of Hearts. This is Spinal Tap, Tightrope, The Secret, Under the Volcano, Youthfully Yours, Unfaithfully Yours. Woo! How'd I mix that up? Unfaithfully Yours, Until September, Up the Creek, The Warriors and the Sorcerers. Where the Boys Are, 84, remake of a 1960 film. Where the Toys Came From, that sounds a little weird. It was an animation by Theodore Thomas, whatever that was. A Wildlife, The Woman in Red. Wow, The Woman in Red sounds familiar. It had Gene Wilder. But that's the full list of all the movies that came out in 1984. And man, like I said, it's a pretty huge list. And there's a lot of movies on there that are just great. I mean, I wish there were movies like, The Warriors, which one of the all-time great movies. There's a bunch of movies that came out a little bit after, a year or two before or after. But man, that was a pretty good list. So what do you guys think? Do you guys agree with the historian that said, I guess you can't really disagree, it's a fact, but do you personally agree that the most influential year for movies was in 1984? And what was your favorite movie? What was your favorite 80s movie, since we're on the subject here? I feel like 80s was one of those decades that they did everything was done right. Everything was done right. The music was done right. The movies were done right. The TV shows were done right. I mean, the basketball, all the sports had heart. I feel like the 80s was like the pinnacle of our society, man. They just did everything right. The 90s was amazing too, but I mean, the 80s are up there. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I have shown bias because of what time I was born and when I grew up. So I mean, I was born in the early 80s. Of course, I got to enjoy it. My teenage years and everything, I was, basically raised in the 90s. So, I mean, both decades are pretty near and dear to me, but I gotta say the 80s was epic. So let me know, what was your favorite 80s song? What was your favorite 80s TV show? What was your favorite 80s movie? I want to know. Let me know. Let's start a dialect about this. This is pretty cool. Just to know that year was the most influential year, and to know that so much great stuff came out of there. I mean, come on. Indiana Jones and freaking The Never-Ending Story and Karate Kid. I mean, that was the year, dude. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below as always. Talk to me. Let's get dialect going. And thank you all for supporting me and staying and listening to the podcast because, man, like I said, this is literally my favorite show of all out of anything I do on this YouTube channel. So, I mean, I can talk Canon, I can talk Frank. I'm just me being me and talking to you guys, and I love it. So let me know what you think below. And until next time, y'all, so long.